Homestead, how the heck are you today? Uh, yeah, we're going to have a quick barn chat and cover a couple of different topics. One of them is GMO feeds. I've covered that in so many videos, but my last barn chat I failed to mention when feeding out a steer, stay away from the GMO stuff. But we'll touch on that and some other things, and be talking to you just a minute. And we're back. How the heck are you today? We finally got some decent weather down here. It has been cold, cold, and more cold. Unbelievable. And so yeah, my heat pump's out there rusting, and so is my checkbook from the utility bill. But yeah, it has been just awful. I mean, I got off work one night and leaving work, there's a thermometer time sign right there at an asphalt company, and it's pretty accurate. Usually agrees with AccuWeather, and this thing said it was 2 degrees. It was like, yeah, that's cold. So, and I could tell because my heater hadn't really got started going good yet, and it had ice crystals kept forming, even though there was no moisture, as far as rain or snow or anything. But ice crystals kept trying to form up on the window, and I had to keep using my washers to be able to see until the heater finally got warmed up. Crazy weather. And today it was in the 50s. Tomorrow it's supposed to be in the 60s. Yeah. So, we're getting back to more normal temperatures. It's still winter. We still get down to the 20s, but yeah, it's not anything like we were having. We had about 2, 3 weeks of it pretty heavy. So, yeah. Anyway, so let's get on with this. Luckily, Danny from down at Deep South Homestead was looking over my shoulder on my last barn chat and mentioned he agreed with everything except for use GMO feed, non-GMO feed, and he's right. And I guess because I've talked so much about GMOs and GMO feed and the herbicides that are being used on these things, um, you know, just right over my head that there's going to be folks out there who don't know. You need to read or watch the GMO versus Common Sense. It'll tell you a lot about the GMO products and how bad they truly are, not only for you, but for your animals. I'd ran a little experiment with organic feed and GMO feed on chickens. And an interesting thing, if a chicken is given the choice between the two, it will pick the organic feed. It's almost like they know, you know, something in that ain't right. They'll leave it alone. So, yeah, the animals know. So, you know, yes, I understand. Organic is more expensive. I understand that. All right. But especially when you're talking about stuff you're going to put into your body, okay, it matters. Okay, folks, it really does matter. And GMO and herbicides can have an immediate effect on the quality of your meat in a steer. Immediate. So the adage of, it's not going to hurt for 45 to 60 days feeding them out, which I usually don't like using corn product on any animal, as far as especially beef. uh, if you're wanting it for flavor and texture and marbleization and so forth, then it's a good way to go. Stay away from the GMO stuff. I would almost say if you can't get a reasonably priced organic feed, then find an organic farmer and buy corn. Okay, uh, that's corn fed will do the same thing. If you give them solid access to it, it'll put the weight on, marbleize the meat, and change the flavor a little bit. and you're still getting the same results without, probably not quite as fast. You might have to extend out your time a little bit with getting the weight on them, but it's a good way to go. Okay, and you can buy corn off an organic farmer fairly reasonable. So might be something to think about. Anyway, so thank you, Danny, for throw that comment out there because yeah, I had just totally failed to mention that. And like I said, you'll find that when I talk about feeds and things of this nature, I'm talking organic, folks. I'm not ever going to tell you to go out and buy GMO stuff. Never. Uh, I understand the money end of it. I really do. Make it up somewhere else. That's all I can tell you. Because it does have an adverse effect on the health of that animal. So you really want to make sure and stay away from that stuff. And these herbicides, this new dicamba and so forth, is even worse than the Roundup. So, and yeah, we're eating it, right? Yeah, isn't that great? It's on your store-bought food. It's on stuff like oatmeals and things of this nature. They use it a lot on different foods you wouldn't think that they would need it on as a drying process. Grains, wheat, yeah. So I tend to wonder if that isn't something that has to do with and I haven't researched this, so I'm just kind of taking a shot in the dark on this. I have seen a few reports that suggest it, but like I said, I haven't really dug into it. But that these gluten folks that are having problems with dealing with gluten, it may be the herbicides. Okay, it's not necessarily the wheat and so forth. It is the herbicides that are being used on it. Doctors aren't picking up on this stuff, and probably with good cause. The pharmaceutical companies don't want them to, okay, because that's part of their income there. So kind of keep that in mind. But yeah, GMO, bad stuff. The actual GMO itself, I don't much care for the Bt toxin that's in them because that has an immediate effect on intestines and so forth. Um, but it also has the same effect on you. I mean, it kills off the good bacteria in your body and leaves you with pathogens. And pathogens, of course, lead to disease, death, and destruction, really. So, think about it. Okay. Okay, what else has been going on around here? New job. Of course, I guess at some point I'm going to quit calling it the new job because it's really just becoming the job kind of thing. It's doing okay. Uh, Went out and looked at some land. That's kind of interesting. Primarily, the financial end of it looks real good, and the land would take some work. Okay, but on my budget, that's what I'm going to have to look for. But it's a ways away, so I don't know if I'm going to, be able to bite on that right away because it would too far of a commute. You just couldn't commute it. So yeah, it's more eastern Tennessee area. So anyway, so I'm still looking, and getting the. I found land that you can afford, but you wouldn't want. Because by the time you got it where it could function, you would be into it up to your eyeballs. Found a nice little pasture land down outside of Henderson that a guy is selling and has a reasonable price on it. So I went and took a look at that and found out that, yeah, he's been using it for row crop and even this year used up dicamba. And, it's like, okay, nah, not interested. And asked him about, well, you got a pretty good growth of grass there. Yeah, I bought some of I forgot what seed company he got it from, but it was a GMO variety of grass that would grow in the herbicide contaminated soils. So I didn't even waste my time doing soil samples or anything like that. It was like, okay, let me get the heck out of here. But yeah, so the search continues. But yeah, it's a lot of fun looking at some of the stuff that's available. I sympathize with homesteaders out looking for land. I really do. because a lot of it is just junk. I mean, you look at it to try to, you know, uh, put into production and utilize, it's going to happen. Although I am talking to a fellow right now to where I think I may get back into cattle pretty soon because he's talking about leasing out some of his pasture land cheap. And I thought, well, you know what? At least it'll get me back doing what I love to do, and just pay for the lease on the land. So there's something in the works. Okay. So that's pretty much all I've been up to. Working a lot of hours, a lot of overtime, putting everything I can into the bank, so that I have money to do something with when I get around to doing it. And you know, when I find something that I'm going to put together a deal on, I've got a friend of mine that's got one of those little hovercrafts or whatever, drones. That's what they call them. That feeds into a video, and I figure I may use that to shoot you guys a video of it. Okay. So anyway, that's pretty much all that's going on down here. It's been kind of quiet with all the deep freeze we've had. So, yeah. But looking forward to spring. Really am. Hope you guys are doing real well. I appreciate all the comments. I know I haven't gotten around to answering a bunch of them yet. I do read them. Okay. Um, but my time limits for responding on them has gotten pretty slim. But I'm going to try to improve on that. Matter of fact, I think when I get done with these videos I'm doing tonight, I'll probably pop out there and start getting some videos answered. I noticed that Mom Goes Domestic showed up. I've been wondering about that girl. Thought she fell off the planet. Uh, and I'm glad to see she's back. Well, I'm going to try to find out what's going on with you, girl. Anyway, I love you guys and appreciate you. And I wanted to get this made and get it up there. I'm trying to get very consistent, get back to being consistent with my barn chats every Monday. It's the goal. I would, if I got running behind, would do it on Tuesday, but that would interfere with Danny's porch time, and he'd probably come up here and whip up on me. So, Danny, Wanda, God bless you guys. You're doing a great job, and I'll be talking to you soon. This is Rich, Tennessee Homestead. Love you guys. Appreciate you. Y'all have a great week.